Everybody, Manning here, back at TD Garden with another practice report. This one's schematic, this one's strategy, this one the back and forth between the two coaches in the series, Steve Kerr, Ime Udoka. Both of them, the chess match here has been interesting, whether it's the coverages on Curry, whether it's the lineups that Steve Kerr's put out there. He made an adjustment in this series to go from Kevon Looney to a look with Otto Porter Jr., a smaller lineup that allows them to go bigger in rotation against Celtics smaller lineups. A wrinkle that Ime Udoka and the Celtics staff are still looking at in terms of how they rotate throughout the course of these games. Right now, the Celtics not looking at a starting lineup change. They're going with double big. They're going to continue to use their size, their physicality, the things that they seemingly should have an advantage in, but really haven't so far in this series. I find it pretty amazing that the Warriors are able to continue to defend at a high level into their bench unit and their small ball lineups. I asked Grant Williams about what's made the Warriors' defense so effective, as well as Derek White at practice today.
Gets you open looks. When you don't, it doesn't. When you try and force something, or you try and, that's when the defense beats you. Their defense is very help-oriented. They want you to have to make the right read. If you don't, then that's when they get off to the races. And when they get off to the races, they're a tough team to score, to defend, and they're a tough team to keep in control. So for us, it's just a matter of understanding decision-making and making sure that we know exactly what we're looking for on both sides of the court.
Good job of rotating, helping each other. That's stuff that they've been doing for years now. Just being in the right position and making us take tough shots. So we just got to do a better job of driving and kicking it and finding that next open man.
So this is what we get caught up with here. I think we look at the Celtics and say, oh, they're falling all over themselves. They're turning the ball over. They can't win. They're beating themselves. I think for the first time in this postseason, I'm looking at the other side and saying some of the things they're doing are incredibly effective and leading to the sloppiness for the Celtics. And it's that strong side rotation, the help defense, the incredible rim protection from Draymond Green. Last game, again, outstanding defense from him. It's been hard to counteract, and it's taken the Celtics' rim looks out of play here in this series. Now, as we talked about in our last video here on Celtics All Access, the Celtics have to speed it up, have to get more aggressive to beat some of that set defense that the Warriors are throwing at them right now. But I do find it interesting how Steve Kerr was looking at his rotations earlier in this series and going to Gary Payton for heavy minutes in Game 2, or trying out Andre Iguodala in Game 1 after he hadn't played since the Denver series. Didn't think that would happen. Didn't work, but it's something he felt out and tried, and they got away from it as the series went on. Draymond Green playing the 4 and the 5. Just a number of bench guys getting involved. Fourth quarter minutes for Nemanja Bjelica in Game 4. I thought that was an incredibly effective decision. And what we've seen on the Celtics side is their trust wane in some of their role players, their depth guys, Grant Williams, Derek White, on the bench in the fourth quarter last game. Heavy minutes, upwards of 40 minutes for the starters, and it looks like they're going to have to go even deeper with that collective in this game because the time for experimentation's over. It's Game 6. It's an elimination game, and it feels like Udoka particularly missed a chance to try out some different things, whether it was Grant Williams playing the 5 in this series, extended runs with Payton Pritchard. He was close. Game 1, they have that great lineup, 3 guards out there with Brown, White, Pritchard, and that led a fourth quarter turnaround. That's really the only reason the Celtics are still in this series, that fourth quarter explosion, their best quarter in this series. Now, the third quarter came close in Game 5. You saw some good things develop there, but it's all based around Rob being on the court and playing heavy minutes, protecting the rim, or guys hitting shots, whether it's White, Smart, or Horford, guys who haven't been consistently reliable spacing options this year. As we talked about again in our last video, guys standing on top of each other, guys not being in position on the floor. Feels like the Celtics from 2 positions right now, whether schematic or lineup and rotation-wise, are behind the 8 ball here going into Game 6. They're chasing, they're behind when it comes to some of the chess moves in this series, and you got to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit. I thought Ime was the better coach coming into it, but you look at Kerr and his championship experience. He said today, you're around great people. That's why he's on the verge of winning his 9th ring here, but he's done an incredibly good job, an underrated job, I think, coaching in this series as well. So the Celtics have wrinkles they'll throw out there, unexpected rotation changes, lineup changes. Ime teased those here today, and we'll see when they put their lineups out there tomorrow in Game 6, an elimination game. Warriors with a chance to win an NBA championship here at TD Garden tomorrow, 9 o'clock. We'll have tip-off Celtics All Access for continued coverage of the NBA Finals on YouTube, CLNS Media for pressers and more, as well as clnsmedia.com for all your coverage of the Celtics and the NBA Finals. We're brought to you by HelloFresh, HelloFresh.com/playoff16. That's 16 free meals, 3 free gifts, instructions, fresh ingredients on ice, and more. Go get that. Go support the Garden Report as we potentially head back to San Francisco for Game 7, a winner-take-all in this series. We'll see. I'm Bobby Manning from Boston, Mass. TD Garden.